Imagine staying overnight in a place where thousands of people died in terrible pain, and something still watches you from the shadows, refusing to rest. Hello, friends, and welcome to English Stories. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey around the world to the most haunted places on Earth. These are not ordinary locations. They are spots soaked in tragedy, where the past refuses to fade away. People hear whispers in empty rooms, feel cold touches on their skin, and see figures that disappear when they turn to look. Some say the dead still walk here, tied to the pain and sorrow of long ago. Let me tell you their stories, one by one, as we travel deeper into the darkness. Our journey begins in the misty mountains of Colorado, at the Stanley Hotel. This grand old building inspired the famous horror story The Shining. Guests often wake to the sound of a piano playing in the empty ballroom late at night. Children's laughter echoes down the hallways, but when they open the door, no one is there. Shadows move across the walls, and some visitors feel watched by invisible eyes. The spirits seem gentle at first, but the hotel remembers its dark history too well. From America we cross the ocean to England, to the ancient Tower of London. For centuries, this stone fortress was a prison where kings and queens sent their enemies to die. Heads rolled on the execution block, and screams filled the air. Today, the ghost of Anne Boleyn appears near the chapel, sometimes carrying her own severed head. Guards hear the footsteps of phantom soldiers marching in the night, and the black ravens that guard the tower are said to carry the souls of those who were killed here. If the ravens ever fly away, legend warns, the kingdom itself will fall. Not far away stands Edinburgh Castle in Scotland, high on a rocky hill. Battles and executions stained its walls with blood for hundreds of years. A phantom piper plays mournful tunes in empty corridors. A headless drummer marches through the halls, and a small ghost boy tugs at visitors' clothes as if asking for help. Many people feel a sudden wave of sadness wash over them here, as though the weight of all the suffering presses down on their hearts. Now we sail to California, to the old ocean liner called the Queen Mary. This beautiful ship once crossed the seas carrying passengers in luxury, but terrible accidents happened on board. Heavy doors crushed people, and lives were lost in the deep waters. Today the ship is a floating hotel, but the ghosts remain. Children giggle and splash in the empty swimming pool. Watertight doors slam shut by themselves, and over 150 spirits are said to wander the decks. Guests feel watched as they walk the long corridors at night. Our path leads us underground, to the Paris catacombs in France. Miles of dark tunnels stretch beneath the city, lined with the bones of 6 million people. Explorers who venture too deep sometimes get lost forever. Whispers call their names from the shadows, cold hands brush against their arms, and the skulls seem to shift and watch as they pass. The air is thick with the memory of death, and few who enter after dark come back unchanged. In the warm swamps of Louisiana stands the Myrtles Plantation, an old southern home filled with secrets. Poisonings, murders, and cruel acts happened here long ago. A mirror in one room is said to trap the souls of the dead. Never look into it at night. A ghost named Chloe appears in old photographs, and the laughter of children's spirits runs up and down the stairs, even when the house is silent and empty. The tragedy lingers like fog over the land. Deeper into fear we go, to the ancient Ram Inn in England. This small building is known as one of Britain's most haunted houses. Visitors wake in the night with deep scratches on their skin. Demons are said to attack in the darkness, and children's ghosts cry out in fear. Priests once tried to drive the evil away, but the forces here were too strong. Many guests flee before morning, unable to bear the terror. Then there is Aokigahara Forest in Japan, known as the Suicide Forest, lying quietly at the foot of Mount Fuji. The trees grow so thick that sunlight barely reaches the ground. Compasses spin wildly, phones lose their signal, and voices call your name from the shadows, trying to lead you deeper. Many sad souls ended their lives here, and their spirits are said to lure the living to join them. Signs along the paths beg people to turn back and think of their families, but the forest keeps its dark secrets. Our journey now takes us to Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. This was once America's most famous prison, where men lived in silence and darkness until they lost their minds. Al Capone stayed here, and some say his restless spirit still walks his old cell. Footsteps echo in empty hallways, dark figures appear in the shadows, and cold hands touch visitors' shoulders. The walls remember too much pain, and they share it with anyone who dares to enter. And at the very heart of our story lies the most terrifying place of all, Poveglia Island in Italy. Long ago, plague swept through Europe, killing thousands upon thousands. Bodies were burned here in huge fires. Over 160,000 souls turned to ash. Later, the island became a cruel mental hospital where patients suffered unimaginable torment. Fishermen still pull human bones from the water. Screams echo across the empty ruins, and a heavy, evil feeling crushes anyone who comes close. The Italian government keeps most people away because something dark and powerful still lives on this cursed island. No other place in the world carries such a weight of death and despair. These are the stories of the most haunted places on earth, places where the line between the living and the dead grows thin. The ghosts do not sleep. They wait, they watch, and sometimes they reach out. Which of these dark locations frightened you the most? Write in the comments and tell me, would you ever visit one? Share your thoughts, share this story with friends who love mysteries, and if it gave you chills while helping your English, please give it a like and subscribe to English Stories. We have many more tales waiting, adventures, mysteries, and more spooky nights to come. Until next time, stay safe. And perhaps leave one small light burning tonight. Good night from the shadows.